Live?
We're live. What's up, everybody? Join the party.
I'm just gonna stay like this.
Track
whole
house
podcast.
2 in a row. Let's go. Woo!
You just peaked all the mics.
I don't care.
Yep.
Let's go.
Right now, everybody else in the room is just staring at us because they're
man.
like,
They're not vibing in the headphones.
they don't have the music.
all two people.
Jeff, we have a studio audience.
We have a whole crew. We have a whole crew.
We have a studio
We have a
audience.
whole crew. Yeah.
The studio audience does mean we have at least more than
Oh my
one.
gosh, that's hilarious.
Man. All right,
Lindsay,
so
let me get
let's
that link
see.
as soon as you can, please.
All right, so I will pull that down.
Yeah, we got any more
I'll
of
leave
that
it a little
peach? Or we finish it?
I thought
No, she gone.
she gone.
She gone. Hats off to Mark, man. Oh my goodness.
Woo.
Didn't even
Good
make
stuff.
barely made it over 24 hours.
The best part is Megan's like, can you hold on to it for like 5 months? I'm like, nah, bro.
You're done.
Absolutely not.
She done.
October? What? Nah. Oh my goodness.
All right,
It's
I
not my
guess.
fault you got pregnant.
Bro, look how dark it is right now in Chicago. Look at that.
Oh my god.
Super
Get
dark.
you some lights, bro.
Man. What a race.
If
Oh
I
my
was
goodness.
if I was NASCAR, that'd be the first thing I'd think about.
I like how we were trashing this race last week.
Not trashing it, but you know.
Concern.
Low
I like to think of it as
expectations.
concern.
Low
Concern.
expectations.
All right, let's.
But is that why it's super hype now? You know?
do we want to get started
Go.
with this so before we start losing too much of our conversation?
I don't know. I need the link.
It was sent.
There it is.
The link.
All right,
The
so we're
link.
good there. I'm gonna start
The
recording us.
link.
We are recording
The
now.
Recording what?
The YouTube. Sorry, I should have clarified. I record the video and the audio separate because I like to make things more complicated.
I
Apparently,
would say I'm super confused.
yeah. Don't worry about it. You've been drinking.
I thought you were about to say you were super complicated, and I was like, yes.
No, I'm not complicated. I'm a very simple human.
You're a simple man like Parker.
SVG, FTW.
Hey, we go to Daytona. We're getting Simple Man tattoos.
No.
No.
Oh my god,
Bro, if we got simple man tattoos, even Parker would be like, bro, why did you do that?
Yeah, I know. He regrets it so much.
Why would you do that?
I can't believe you've done this.
Oh man.
All right, let me know when you guys are ready.
Can't believe
Actually, let
you've
me
done
run
this.
through the intro one time just to make sure.
Yeah, what do you got?
Wow, that music sounds actually not as hype as what
Not
we
as
were saying.
That's why we need that flirt with disaster, man.
I know, we're working on it. If you're listening, which you're not, but if you are, we'd like to use your song. So, all right, let's see. SVG wins the first race in the streets of Chicago. There was rain, wrecks, and a lot of action, and we are all here for the speed. Okay, that'll work.
It's kind of mid.
Well, I mean, give me some ideas.
Let me think about it. Say it again.
No, I don't have time
Just
for
no,
this.
just say it.
I want you to say it like Mike Joy, bro.
SVG wins the first race in the streets of Chicago. There was rain, wrecks, and a lot of action, but we are all here for the speed.
Clint Boy in the background.
Why did he do the whole? You did the whole Mike Joy.
I don't know.
The Mike Joy.
I had to get the full thing, man.
The arm movements.
Yeah, I had to. Like, I don't know.
Oh man.
I could do it like an old like what is it, like a 40s thing? It's like SVG wins the first race in the streets of Chicago. There was wrecks, rain, and a lot of action. We are all here for the speed.
That was like Newsy meets like medieval. That was Newsy meets medieval times. bro.
Now, have y'all watched the second season of Avatar with Korra? That's exactly what it was.
Just said that. You seem like the pro bending it.
Oh my god.
God.
That's hilarious. That's so funny.
Everything changed when the Water Nation attacked. It rained all day. It was the Water Nation.
Yo, honestly, one of these days,
We're a
like,
wreck.
dude, when we're like,
We haven't actually started.
dude,
Oh
on
my god. With the water nation.
Calm down, Jake.
what a freaking twist, bro! What a twist!
Oh my god.
What, my Water Nation or the actual race? Oh
honest-
man.
I was thinking,
honestly, bro.
you gotta have the. I got a hurricane warning, like a tropical storm warning, and I legitimately clicked it to see if it was over Chicago because of the way it was spinning.
It
Dude,
looked
honestly,
like one.
bro-
Okay, hold on. We'll talk about that
Honestly,
later.
like on the 100th episode or like something like that, like we should have just DJ come on with some smooth jazz instead of our normal theme song.
Smooth jazz.
This is DJ Wilson, and I'm here for the next hour to
Jeff,
provide
I
you
don't know where
some
you're going, but it's way left field.
smooth
Oh,
jazz.
race review. I'm not even gonna put topics. Honestly, I think we got enough to talk about.
Bro, I think we got plenty.
All right, you guys
Oh
want to
my
go live
gosh.
and we'll just go?
Yeah,
Should I do
guess.
the what? Should I do the Water Nation or which one did y'all like?
Freak it.
Do that
I did like
Water Nation.
I-
Water Nation. Plot twist.
Nah, I think
Hey.
you're normal. You're one with
I'm
me.
cool with doing the Water
attacked this
Nation.
time, bro.
Oh my god.
I could add the
that's
Water Nation in if y'all
hilarious.
wanted to, where I could just like
You should play the background.
everything changed when the Water Nation attacked. And SVG wins in the first race of the streets of Chicago. There was rain, wrecks, and a lot of action. We are all here for the speed. I could do that.
Avatar has returned, and his name is.
Oh, you forgot to crack the can.
Well, it's not the actual.
No, that's not our
Oh,
actual
that's not
intro.
the actual one?
No, but I could do that, like if you want.
I don't care, bro.
I'm doing it. I don't
We're a
care.
meme, anyways.
Why not? All right. Let me get
Oh
us.
my gosh.
We're actually just a crap posting page.
All right, y'all ready?
Freaking hilarious. Yeah, sure. You got the top 10 rundown ready?
Sure. Listen, this
Oh,
is
it's
gonna
gonna be one of those.
It's gonna be one of those.
I mean,
All right,
yeah, whatever.
ready?
Oh my god. Let's go.
Everything changed when the Water Nation attacked.
can't.
SVG wins his first race in the streets of Chicago. There was rain, wrecks, and a lot of action, and we are here for the speed. All right, guys, what's up? My name is DJ, and I'm with Here for the Speed. I've been making Jake absolutely cry for the last few minutes, coming up with random intros.
You're killing me, bro.
I started my first intro, and I was like, "Oh, okay, guys. So, what do you think? You know, is this good?" And Jake's like, "Nah, it's kind of mid." And I was like, "Okay." So we started just rolling
Kinda
with some
mid.
random ones. If you want to see them, they're on the YouTube,
Bro,
so you can watch them.
we went from normal to like I don't even know where you.
Oh
pulled
yeah,
that
then
from.
they're like, yeah, like let me hear your Mike Joy. So I did a Mike Joy version, and then I did like a 1940s version where, hello there, this is the news, hello, and then somehow we ended up on Avatar. So anyway, man,
It's the only show that matters.
Bro.
you're not wrong. And so, man, what a race, what an ending,
a race.
what an ending. Like, I know some people are probably going to be a little upset that he won because, you know, oh man, like a guy who's not even a cup driver wins a race, like makes it look real easy.
I mean,
But-
okay, so if we're diving right into this, right?
Of course. Oh, sorry,
You
we got to do
have-
intros. I'm DJ. Hi.
I'm Jacob.
I'm just Jeff.
Here we go again with the just Jeff crap.
You want to be just like Father Speed. It's okay. Moving on.
Yeah, anyway. Okay,
I
so
just want to be like Brother Speed, who showed up today.
brother speed. Yeah, so I mean, yeah, like as far as like being a newbie to the race, super cool, I think, but I think some people are going to be upset.
I mean, it's kind of like this is what he does.
I mean, he's a
I can
baller
remember,
driver.
Remember, like they said before the implementation of the Gen 7 and kind of after it started, there was a lot of rumors that, okay, if somebody comes from the Australian supercars, they're going to be good because there's a lot of similarities.
Yeah.
And, bro,
Yeah.
like we
Dude,
seen it.
the guy
we
has-
saw it with IMSA too.
Yeah.
But
Not
the
to the same
exception
extent.
is IMSA does not race so full contact. Which
True.
Which he didn't today, but bro, he raced.
He raced
hard,
hard but clean.
but clean.
very clean.
I do want to say this: he passed and he won this race clean.
Very clean.
It wasn't no
Yeah.
steal.
There wasn't
Super
any.
clean.
I
Nothing.
bumped him and moved him like nothing.
Nothing.
Like barely touching. He has, just so you know, like I'll read you his stats here. Out of 499 races, so basically 500, he has 3 championships in the supercars, Australian supercars, 80 wins.
That's pretty baller.
That's pretty awesome.
Podiums, which is first through third,
Yep.
174.
That's a lot, bro. The
Yeah.
dude's a baller.
Dude, it's insane. The dude can drive. Pole positions 46. He won. So I was gonna say his position in 2022 was
So
first.
three
That's typically how
championships.
it
won.
works. That's typically how it works, DJ.
He's kind of like
you win, you come in first.
Shut up, Jeff.
He's the equivalent of like a Kevin Harvick / maybe like Kyle Busch.
I would say Kyle Busch.
In that series coming here, like, bro, he's a baller, bro.
I mean, arguably, I would say you could compare him to Larson.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a little early in Larson's career to say for sure, but I think by
Kinda.
the time in
I don't know, because Larson races everything and runs really good. I mean, I don't know how
So
much
does
other
fucking Kyle
racing
does.
he does. You know what I mean?
I see what you're saying. Yeah, 'cause
Yeah, but
I mean,
fact that-
when you say that's
true.
the conclusion. I mean, when I think of Larson being a great driver, it's because he races everything and wins everything.
that's true.
Yeah, but
That's
the fact that he kind of stepped into something that he's super unfamiliar with and was able to obviously win a cup race,
Bro,
that's
fast in
pretty
practice,
freaking impressive.
Ridiculous.
qualified
fast.
third, almost won the pole,
He almost
except
did
for
it.
Denny Hamlin laying an absolute heater.
And who got second on pole? Was it Reddick?
Reddick.
Yeah, those two all of a sudden threw
Yep.
heaters at the last minute.
Yeah.
So I mean, he was
super
looking
fast all weekend.
And then I think he said it. Well, he said at one point he was in 18th.
I don't know how far he dropped back.
I
just
thought it
know
was
in
like
those last
18th.
handful of restarts, 20-something laps to go, he was kind of like 12th, 10th-ish, somewhere in there, and fought his way all the way up through.
Dude,
Clean, too. Every
Very
pass was
clean.
pretty clean.
Very clean. I mean, definitely controls Chastain a thing or two, if you ask me.
He's in a...
Listen, I love Chastain,
Hey.
but come on, like it was like the anti-Chastain.
it's a road
So this
course.
this
It's a road
guy
course.
does road course and street course racing.
Yeah.
and he showed up, bro. I don't know if it's just his car and everything about his car just fits. I know we heard Chase Elliott's comments about he makes us all look bad. I don't. No.
Oh,
One that
he
98 or that 91 was freaking on rails, bro. That
It
thing
was.
was nasty.
Yeah.
and they called a perfect strategy for how the race
That was
played
a
out.
big thing.
That's two things you got to take into consideration. The car was fast all weekend, and they called a perfect strategy. Bro, you're not going to.
So
Like,
here's
it's a
my
setup,
argument.
bro.
So here's
as
my
long as
argument.
he doesn't make a mistake, he's going to win.
So here's the thing with like Chase Elliott, like saying like, oh, he's going to make us look bad. If Larson goes to the Indy 500 and gets a top 10, does he make them look bad? Doesn't take away what they do.
I mean,
it
if
doesn't
you're,
take
if
away
you're
the
part of
drivers.
that group, maybe you feel that way.
Maybe you do, but it doesn't. Like, I mean, as someone who's primarily more a NASCAR fan, I look at Larson running top 10 and I'm like, wow. Larson normally,
but as a NASCAR fan,
I'll give him that. Yeah. But still, like, how many
don't know,
Australian supercar fans are going to be
Yeah.
like, man, NASCAR sucks because our guy went over and beat him on the first try?
But when
I
you
don't
bring a
think
dude
that's
in
gonna
that
happen.
only races road courses as opposed to racing,
They don't
mostly
do ovals. They don't do ovals.
It's
I
like
mean,
you're
we
gonna
don't-
have
we
some
don't-
sort of advantage.
we don't follow the supercar
Not at
circuit
all.
at all.
No.
So, I mean, I would assume racing supercars, he probably has more wet experience than the Cup guys
Could
do.
be.
Certainly probably has more street experience than the Cup guys
think
do.
so as well.
Certainly has more road experience. And like I said, there's a lot of similarities between this car and the supercars
There
from
is.
Australia. There's a lot. I mean, they said that, you know.
You want to know something that's even weirder? Like a weird, obscure thing that is, I believe, at least when the Camaro first came out with, I think it was the Gen 6, the more recent one, not the really flat looking one, the one that looks kind of like it does now. That generation was based off of an Australian car. I think it was the Commodore, the Holden Commodore or something. It's an Australian car. The Camaro. So, I mean, I don't know if that means anything, but I do think it's kind of interesting that, it's like, oh, yeah, well, he races that.
Those
It's an Australian
Australian
car.
supercars look sick, dude.
Their wheels are amazing.
I didn't even really know much about them prior to this week, and I mean prior to hearing about
same
them.
for me.
Yeah.
So I kind of looked them up. I'm like, dude, these guys are kind of hardcore. I'm gonna be honest, dude. Like they're hardcore. The cars look sick. It's
They
like,
race hard.
How have I
They
not
race
How have I not
hard.
heard about this? You know what I mean? It's like no wonder he came in.
I think
and
it could
was
be a
able to
good.
do
I
decent,
think this
you
is
know?
a good thing in two different ways. I think this is a good thing for our sport in the sense that we brought in someone else and look at all the attention we're getting. And of all the races that you're going to get attention on, this was the race that you needed to do it on. You're going to a new place, totally new type of thing, setting up this was the race you needed an international guy to win because this draws even more eyes onto this one particular event, which is great. Now, and on top of that, the other thing is the other side of it. How many people from NASCAR are going to be like, dude, I need to check out these. I want to watch this guy now. Like, because the dude was good.
Yeah.
And he was one of the few guys using his clutch through the whole race.
That's kind of what surprised me because we
Yeah.
watched a lot of foot cam during practice and qualifying, and you didn't see that hardly at all.
No, he was the only one that I know of. I mean, maybe there was a couple of
I didn't
others.
see the others.
Junior was talking about it a little bit, that he was talking to him, I guess, off camera or whatever, and was saying that a lot of Australian supercar guys use that as a way to kind of upset the car and change the balance of the car a little bit going through turns and stuff. And maybe that gave him a slight advantage. Maybe that's just what he's
I don't
used
know.
to. I don't know.
I kind of feel that, but at the same time, like this Cup car and just NASCAR in general is kind of unforgiving. If you do like the rev match and you downshift using the rev match, like you can really slow down and really gain good speed. But the problem is if you miss it by a little bit, you blow the transmission or the motor.
Yeah.
So it's super unforgiving. So it's kind of where I'm like, yeah, was he doing that? Was he playing it safe? I don't know. I'd like to see some foot cam from the last 10 laps. See if he's still doing the same thing.
Maybe.
That would be the definitive. If that's the case, bro, everybody's going to whatever he was doing. They're all going to, especially
You
the
know
Chevy guys, they're all going to get that info and
Dude,
and take
Trackhouse,
it.
I'm interested to see how Trackhouse does on the next street course. Or the next, sorry, not street course, road
Street
course.
course next
The
year.
yeah, the next road course. What is the next one? Is that Watkins Glen?
Indy,
so.
right? Indy.
Oh, no,
Indy road
Indy,
course.
Indy,
Indy
yep.
road course. Yeah.
Oh,
Look at the
jeez.
schedule.
NASCAR has, or Trackhouse has an interesting history with that course.
I mean, I'm actually really excited.
So, no,
I
but like,
mean, to be real, like I do kind of like the course. I mean, as a
the
whole,
Indy, their Indy
it's
road
not
course, I
bad.
think, is a good course. It's just I don't know if it's good for our car.
especially when
August
you take the
13th.
access road,
Okay.
bro. The access road just makes it easier.
It makes it a better track. I think we should make people have to run Joker laps. Where
Oh
they,
my God.
where they have to choose every stage to run a Joker lap. No, but I mean, even like Jensen was running really good. I mean, obviously
Till
having
he
some
spun
issues
out,
at the
yeah.
end. At the
Or
end,
it got spun out.
yeah. But I mean, honestly, he was doing good, which I thought was interesting because Jensen at Coda, for example, he wasn't really there. Like he didn't show up. So
I think that 15 was way better this time.
it definitely was. Now, some of that may have been the fact that it was more level playing field because no one's ever been here. So, but some of it might be, Formula One guys do race on street courses more than NASCAR does.
I think you have that, and I
Sure.
think we've seen Stuart Haas take a few steps forward since Coda 2.
Fair enough.
So I mean, I say that he drove the 15, which is a Rick Ware car prepared in the Stuart Haas shop. So
It's
it's
a Stuart
really
Haas
a Stuart
car, yeah.
Haas car. Yeah. So
Honestly, Stuart Haas did a lot better.
they were
today.
better.
A lot
I
better
mean,
today.
Harvick was running pretty decent until he got spun out. So
I will say top 5 cars, all Chevys, and then the next 3 Fords. The first place Toyota was 9th. It was Ty Gibbs. I would not have called that based on qualifying.
Yeah, no, I mean,
No.
I was just thinking the same
I was
thing.
gonna pick all
I was
Toyotas
like,
for our
that's
fantasy
a
league.
that's a big swap from qualifying.
we'll do the top 10 rundown. I don't think I had anybody in the top 10.
I
Oh,
don't.
bro,
I've already looked. It's terrifying for me to realize which
I
drivers
feel like
picked, so-
our whole fantasy league just freaking dropped the ball.
If you
this week.
scored over 100 points, you did really good this week.
I think I'm gonna be lucky to score 50. To be
like
honest,
I was stoked to see that
got some
I
stage
had
points,
12th
but
and 17th, and I feel like that's better
Oh,
than most
man.
everyone else
I had 11th
based off of our
and-
picks.
Hold on, 11th, 28th. That's my second best driver. Is
Bro.
28th.
Dude, cool.
Oh no, I'm sorry. There's got to be someone I'm missing. I'm missing Gil. Oh, Gilliland. I got 19th. I got 11th and 19th. Yay!
You picked Gilliland?
I did.
Was he your garage pick?
I
Or
don't
you
have
just picked
garage
him?
picks, man.
Oh my god.
Are you out?
Huh? Oh yeah, I'm out.
No, I think I have like
All right.
2 or 3
Well,
left.
let's since we're already talking about it, let's go up into our top 10. This is going to be a very chaotic show in case you can't tell. So obviously our Kiwi friend gets first. Number 2, Justin Haley looked like he was going to win this race for a while.
Yeah, I think you just see him losing to
Better tires.
SVG basically just because. I mean, again, hats off to the 91 team. Played this strategy perfectly.
Yeah.
well.
Perfectly. So I believe Reddick was on a similar strategy, but put it in the fence. So
Yeah,
Tough.
you had Justin Haley in second. Yeah, I mean, good day for them otherwise. I mean, that's
Yes,
a
sir.
really solid day. Number 3, Chase Elliott. looked like they might have actually were going to be able to squeeze one out other than SVG and like these other strategies that
Yeah.
just were called better.
Real
Elliott
quick.
had a good chance.
On the Elliott, I think we see him kind of going back before he had won a race, and you kind of see him being pretty hard on himself.
Yeah.
You know,
he was
so
in the
do
interviews.
we see him, maybe the end of this year, start of next year, kind of go back on a tear because he's kind of refocusing
Maybe.
and humbling himself to get back in, not get back in the grind, but like put that extra, couple percent to really make up the difference.
I think the field in general, I don't know if it's just me. It feels like it's so much more competitive like in the last
is.
2 years.
hyper competitive.
Compared to what, when Chase Elliott started dominating, started really going on where he finally was starting to win. What was that, like 19, I think, or 18, somewhere around
Yeah.
there?
I think it was.
There was,
yeah.
I would say, you only had maybe 10 to 15 drivers that were like top tier.
Are we
You
talking
could-
about road courses or across the
in
schedule?
general?
Yeah.
And
okay.
so you would, and now you look at it, and there's 20 at
Bro, as,
least.
as we go through this top 10, it's a shocker, bro.
Yeah.
Well, I'm thinking
And,
like
and it's not due to like, oh, this track was hard to pass. So it's kind of hard to pass, but bro, I mean, like these guys played the strategy well.
Yeah.
Well, I think even like last year, we expected the Gen 7 to be more comparable or competitive. Competitive than the other generation vehicles. But I think that this season you're starting to see it a little bit more. Like it's a little bit more
I
of an
agree.
even spread of drivers across the field
I
that
think-
are being more competitive.
And with that, you've
At
seen,
least running, maybe not winning, but at least running well.
I agree. And with that, you've seen more aggression.
Yeah.
This year seems to be the most aggressive year in Cup racing that I've ever watched.
Yeah.
You know,
You could say
It's
that, yeah.
People are
and, hey, I'm about
ramming
it.
people.
I hated 5 years ago when the drivers talked about all these driver codes and trying to like take care of one another. Like, nah, bro. Like, nah. I'm not
not
about
about
that,
that, man.
bro.
No.
Heck no, bro.
No, I think Chastain wrecking everybody's been good.
Well, that's part of it. He's kind of come into that, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, it's just I think it started with the truck series and the
Till
as
Justin Marks
these
Yeah.
guys
Yeah.
have kind of come in, there's been a whole level of aggression that's come in that way, and as we've seen this new playoff format kind of come across, you've seen every year, a guy like Truex at Daytona misses by a few points. So if you miss
Yeah.
by a few points next year, are you gonna give away 1 or 2 spots?
Nope.
Probably not.
So, all
Yeah.
right. So let's
Yeah,
move,
bro.
keep moving down our top 10 list before we go off on too many tangents. Number 4, Kyle Larson. Pretty quiet all day.
Kind of a
Started
sleeper pick.
started
I
seventh.
wouldn't have expected.
He
No.
wasn't like all race for was not super.
Would you say
super-
4th?
4th?
Yeah.
Not bad.
He started
Pretty
7th.
good.
So I mean, about
Made a
where he
decent
started.
day out of it. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, but like even in qualifying, we weren't talking about Kyle Larson.
No,
you know what I mean. So
nobody
it's kind
was.
of one
It
of
was all
those, like,
Toyotas.
oh, okay, you know.
Number 5, Kyle Busch. Started 18th, got 5th. So
After
definitely.
That's
putting
impressive.
in the fence, what, lap 3, 4?
Yeah.
That's impressive, bro. That's
And
classic
he
Kyle
was
Busch.
He was at least.
Classic
Perfect.
Kyle Busch.
Classic Kyle
He was at
Busch.
least a lap down. Now, obviously, during the cautions, probably got the wave around, but still,
I love Kyle Busch. Stuffed it in the fence so far. Had to get pulled out. Nah, I don't need to go on the pit road. It'll be fine.
should be fine.
Should be all right.
And
KFB
still,
simulator
and
engaged.
still got 5th. That's the part that's wild. Is he still got 5th?
Just a special.
I think he
there's a
underperformed. He
special
probably
gear-
should have won.
There's a special gear on the gear shifter that just says KFB,
KFB.
on it.
That's like a little.
6 gear.
It's like a little button from the what's that? The Gone in 60 Seconds, where it's Go Baby
Yeah,
Go.
yeah.
It's just KFB, and it's a button on the gear shift.
my
Or
God.
instead of like it's like Brian from Fast and the Furious, but it's got the NOS tank, but instead of NOS, it's just KFB. You just turn-
KFB juice.
All right, let me just turn this
Crack,
on real
crack,
quick.
That's hilarious.
Number 6, Austin Cindric.
Surprising.
Yeah,
That's super
I don't know about
shocking.
you,
Started-
but that's shocking.
starting
That's
31st.
super shocking.
31st is where he
But
started.
again, play the strategy right, which
Yeah.
is hats off to them. But they have been, I'm not going to lie, bro. They've been terrible.
terrible.
Trash.
Trash.
But he is I mean, even in Xfinity, really good on the road.
Hold on.
So, I mean, you'll
I
have
just
that.
thought of something. Cindric. Where was it where we were most impressed with Cindric the last time?
Wet road course Coda
Coda?
last year.
Coda
Not last
during
year.
the rain.
I don't think it was last year.
Last
it was
2
Coda
years
during
ago,
the
wasn't
rain.
it? Might have been 2
2
years.
years ago.
2 years ago.
Coda
It was
during the
Coda
rain, right?
in the rain.
Yep.
And here we go.
He should have started on
He's a
slicks.
road
He
racer,
probably
man.
would've won.
Like
Probably.
he's very good. He's
Dude.
very good on the road courses. He won. I think it was in
No,
Xfinity.
no,
he won.
whoa. Not lately.
Not lately, but like just
He
as,
should
as
be.
a whole, like in
He
general.
should be a
like,
road course ringer, but he's not.
Correct.
No, he's not. He's not as a whole, but like I think going back like to his Xfinity career, he has a quite a bit of wins as far as like the Xfinity is concerned, and then moving in the Cup, runs decent at the road course. I mean, not great, but like
Do we
Yeah.
think Cindric might
considering
be good?
how trash that car has been, I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, but Brad
Runs good.
drove that car before and it was pretty good.
yeah,
Do
but
we
he's
think
Brad.
this
we,
is
w-
just?
we would never tell
but do
Matt
we-
this.
R.I.P. Matt.
Do we think Cindric is just kind of going through the rookie deal?
But he's not a rookie, though. You mean just kind of
Not
going
not a
through?
rookie deal, but just not being a veteran guy. It just seems like
Could
it
be.
takes 3-4 years, bro. The competitiveness is off the charts.
He's probably
The
not.
parity, whatever you want to call it.
Cindric doesn't come across to me as an aggressive driver like a Ross or anything like that, or like
He does come from the sports car world, IMSA, kind
Yeah.
of that side, which is not
not
like
aggressive,
NASCAR.
and he generally I think has a pretty a pretty calm demeanor. So I think that's probably maybe that he just doesn't. Maybe he's just not an aggressive driver, and that may be where he's lacking. Whereas today, I feel like the most aggressive drivers tend to be the ones that are the best.
I think I probably agree with you.
Yeah,
for
maybe
sure.
I don't know.
But it's like a balance, right? Aggressive, but mixed with some patience.
Yeah, unless you're Ross Chastain, in which case you can be aggressive and you don't ever wreck. Well, don't know how it's possible.
Yeah, but you wreck everything else.
Yeah, it's still a process. All right. So moving on to number 7, Michael McDowell. To be honest, that's not super surprising. He started 6th, was running
But
really
good
solid.
day for them.
Good day for them, but I'm not super surprised with that
But
finishing.
again, we've seen the track wet. Who runs fast? McDowell. When that
McDowell.
track is
Yep.
wet, he has a skill set there
Yeah,
for sure.
For sure. Moving on to 8th, Joey Logano. I mean, he started 9th, so
I'm
I mean,
shocked.
Then
But-
wrecked.
I'm shocked. Can we just say the streak is broken?
which streak are we talking about?
Anytime we get on a new track and a new thing, Logano has won.
That's true. That
so
is
the
true.
streak is broken.
Thank God. Thank God. That was getting a little weird. Because
That was getting a little weird
'cause it wasn't
Bro,
like they were
the
similar.
betting odds were starting to favor Logano in this new track, new win thing.
It was
Like, bro,
weird
it was
because
getting
like
weird.
it wasn't even like they were like, oh, they're all the new short tracks or all the new super speedways. It was just all new tracks.
yeah,
Like super weird.
so weird.
Number 9, Ty Gibbs. Pretty solid day. Ty Gibbs is I think he's starting to turn a corner.
Almost picked him. Almost picked
I
him.
was
I had
Ty
him
Gibbs?
written down.
Nah,
Ty
I didn't
Gibbs
have-
was
I didn't
one
have
of
him
my
penciled
thoughts.
at all.
I had him written down, and I was like,
He was one I considered. I was going between him and Truex. And my thought at the time was Truex is, more of a veteran, going to have a lot more, probably be a lot more of a safe bet. And then Truex spun
And
out
then he
like
wasn't.
2,700 times on the
Man,
course.
I don't know what happened to Truex.
It was like the last half of the race. I don't know if he was just like, I'm tired.
Kinda seemed like
I'm
he fell
done.
apart.
I don't know. It was at the end of the race. But anyway.
Uncharacteristic of him.
Really good day for Ty. Definitely starting to really come into his own, I think. So that's good for them. And then rounding out the top 10, Christopher Buescher. So we got an RFK.
Really?
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, I missed that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, okay.
So, I mean, he started 15th, then he got 10th. So, I mean,
he
nothing
was the one who
crazy.
spun out Jensen.
Oh, it was him, wasn't it?
Christopher Buescher once again outraces his boss.
I know. Hold on. Let's just, Matt.
You'll love to see it.
Matt. Brad was in 24th.
Well, I mean, that's not surprising for a road
That's
course.
true.
I mean,
It is a road course, and it was Brad. But yeah, I mean, man, just so okay. So let's talk about the event. So obviously, we had issues with the rain, and
Yep.
I was a little worried because the problem that this race had is I think NASCAR was betting a lot on this race being a success, and I was really worried with all the rain started coming. They started postponing things, and I'm like, that's gonna kill this race. That's gonna kill the fan attendance. It's gonna really be a problem. To be honest, there was still seemed like a really good
Yeah.
turnout. Still a really good
It
turnout.
seemed like a lot of people stuck around,
Which
which
was
is
good.
a huge plus, and they got an absolute banger of a race.
Man, I mean, I wish
I don't
we
know
were there.
what else do you want for a race, man.
And they
Coming
finished
down to
before
the end.
sundown.
Huh?
Yeah,
And they finished before sundown.
they had to shorten the
after,
race.
after they cut the race. I mean, not that it would have mattered. I feel. I mean,
to be honest,
No, I think
No, well, maybe
we'll
it
talk
could've.
about it later.
yeah,
but
well,
I mean,
whatever. Yeah.
yeah, I think across the board, it was. I mean, it's even considering all the things that got canceled and all the things that got changed, it was still pretty successful. I don't see any way they don't come back next year. But
I think they said
You
they
can't-
already were selling tickets, so I think
you
it's
can't control the
confirmed.
weather. I mean,
yeah,
you can't
but
control the
we'll
weather.
see. We'll see.
Yeah.
I think you're gonna have to get the city's approval, and there'll be meetings
Oh, I'm
and
sure-
et
I'm
cetera,
sure.
et cetera.
Yeah, but you can't control the weather. Let's just say the weather doesn't happen. I mean,
Oh,
if
it
the weather
would've-
doesn't happen, does this race still go the same ways? It's still successful. You know what I mean? So what I'm
We
I
saying,
mean,
would've had we
based
might
off
have
of
had a different-
qualifying and practice between both series, it was pretty exciting.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So it's like, I mean, excluding the weather, like, I mean, I'd watch this race even if it wasn't an issue next year. Like, I thought it was great. I thought it
Yeah.
was fun. So
Yeah.
I mean, we can dig into it when we go to about it, not about it. But yeah,
Yeah. So, what do you guys think of the post race?
I love it, man.
Pretty good.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah,
bro. I
that was cool.
love having post.
I'm not gonna lie. That okay, because obviously last week like Chastain won, so like obviously we're gonna give it a 10, like because we're all Chastain fans.
Are we talking about post race or
Post race celebration, we're rating it.
Okay.
So obviously Chastain, we're gonna give a 10 because that's our boy.
I mean, even
so this
even-
I would give this a 10 though, regardless, just because. No, hold on. Let me explain. Here's why I'm saying it's a 10. Because the energy from the team coming up to him, how many people were right at the fence of pit road or pit lane trying to look at it and see it, just the vibe and the excitement and everything. Just shut up. Let me speak. My God.
This
Gosh.
is opinion. This is.
I was saying, I'm allowed to have an opinion,
It's a
Jacob.
9, bro.
Oh,
it's
he called you
impossible to have a
Jacob,
10
bro.
without a watermelon.
Oh my God. There was a watermelon guy in the background that had it on his lapel. Okay, we'll go with that.
No.
No,
mean-
I just it was super exciting. I thought to see something like that. Anyway, y'all go ahead. I'll
Nah,
shut up.
I mean, I'll give it a
I'm
9.
muting you. I'm muting you.
No, I give it a solid 9 for sure.
Yeah,
Um,
no, it was a good
It
one.
had everything I wanted. 2 burnouts. So it
Yeah.
had everything except for a watermelon. So
I mean, if we're going based off the amount of watermelons that have been smashed, I'm gonna say 9.5. I thought it was pretty good.
Basically, Jeff doesn't want to make any enemies right here, so he decides to split our votes.
No, for real.
a watermelon's worth the whole point, bro. So you can't pick half a point.
Oh my God. Anyway,
Like, I mean, really, he only smashes half of a watermelon and then eats the other half off the ground.
I mean, he
smashes
smashes
the
the
whole
whole
watermelon
watermelon and eats half.
Well, I'm an
Thank
idiot,
you.
so it's cool. Stop teaming up on me. Anyway, no, I thought it was great. I mean, obviously the double burnouts was cool. I just like, I mean, one, it's something we've obviously seen in NASCAR, not in our lifetime. I mean, it's been 60 years since it's happened last, or whatever. I think it was 60,
It was
right?
either
Yeah.
60 or 70.
60
It's
or
a
70.
long
It's
time.
a long time. It hasn't happened in our lifetime. It's statistically speaking going to be the only time it happens in our lifetime. So that's pretty cool. That
The
he
only time?
statistically speaking,
Okay.
you know,
I agree.
if
The
it's
only
been
reason
60,
the
70
only
years-
reason it happened so early in NASCAR's history was because it was a new sport. So you obviously are going to have more back then.
Yep.
But yeah, anyway.
right? But what I mean, as a whole, I thought it was great. Who else gets to say they get to do a burnout in the city streets of Chicago? That's kind of cool.
Super cool.
You know, and even if they do get to do it next year, like he's the first one, he'll always be the first one,
Yep.
and he'll always be the inaugural winner of that race.
How about
so that's pretty sweet.
Kind of to piggyback on that, all the Cup drivers that talked about wanting to win that trophy and that so coveted, and none of them got it.
Yeah, none of them got it.
Wow.
Meanwhile, this guy, Kiwi guy, is like, "Hey, I got it."
Is that what Kiwis sound like, DJ? Is that what Kiwis sound like? DJ?
Shut up, Jeff.
No, I know.
Drive
I know what you.
Oh my God! Stop it.
Open in your.
So I
I'm
pulled
trying
up.
to get us off the rails. We're going too smooth.
Oh gosh, this is smooth. No, I was looking up like what's happening on Twitter, and
Yeah.
I don't know why, but Brett Griffin is trending on Twitter. That's worrying.
Why?
Is he really?
NASCAR Chicago, Dale Jr., and the Chicago Street Race are all trending topics, and the Chicago race trending with the Cup Series and Chase Elliott. So
Oh
I'm-
my God, Brett Griffin is trending. He's the number one on motorsports.
So I don't know what it is, but I saw someone make a comment about something about, is Brett Griffin upset that a non-American won the race or something
my
like
God.
that. I mean, his comment is literally, "I'm speechless." Congrats to this Shane guy.
His other tweet is, "If I'm Team Justin, if the 91 passes him, I hope he dumps him." There was some vulgar wording used that I'm not gonna. Wow, all his tweets have vulgar.
let me see.
Okay, I'm just gonna.
Anyway, so yeah,
I thought you could only view
we're getting
only a
derailed.
certain amount of tweets a day.
Yeah, it's kind of refreshing now.
changing its mind. So all right, so let's see. So let's talk about the Xfinity race a little bit before we kind of get. Well, actually,
Let's
no.
save that for.
Yeah,
about
let's go
another-
into the about it or not, because to be honest, we don't have a whole lot in race review. But we do have a lot to talk about in about it, not about it. So for any one of you guys that are just tuning in and listening to us, this is our about it, not about it topic. Not topic section. Where basically I'll throw us out a topic and we say whether we're about it or we're not about it. So first one, street course at Chicago in general. Jeff, I'm going to throw it to you. What did you think of this race so far?
I thought it was fun. I thought it was going to be a disaster, just like everyone else. But it turned out to be pretty good. It was a lot more exciting than I expected. It wasn't as chaotic. I mean, it was chaotic, but it wasn't as chaotic as I guess I anticipated. I thought there was going to be more wrecks involving the entire field, which there was one. But
Literally blocked the road.
there was one. But I thought it was going to be more like Roval the first year, where just they go into the first turn and it was going to be an instant wreck fest.
Wasn't there one of the drivers that said that they thought that was what was going to happen?
I mean, that's a fair assumption. I don't
think-
remember
I think
who it
but
was.
What helped out with that
but-
and preventing it
The
from
rain?
becoming Indy? No, they changed the restart zone.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's true.
So
Yeah.
I mean that obviously helped a lot. Which I
Single
was kind
file,
of like
single
not
file
about it.
restarts.
Yeah, but they should have switched, bro. Once the track got dry, like let's go. Bro. This is NASCAR.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, sorry. Let
But-
him. This is his about it, not about it.
yeah. So, as a whole, I thought it was great. If you're asking me if I'd watch it again or if I'd want them to go back next year, I'm indifferent as far as whether they would. If they do, I'm cool with it. If not, like okay, whatever. You know, I'm okay with it being short lived like that. But I thought it was exciting. I think the rain made it more exciting. After the fact, I wish that it wasn't like 8 feet of freaking rain the whole time. But
Oh, there goes the tire.
I liked. I don't
Just
remember
keep
who. I don't remember who it was,
spinning,
but there's the video going around on Twitter of the dude. Maybe it was Parker Kligerman. I don't know who it was, but just someone sticking their phone in the water.
That was colleague.
Yeah, colleague
Yeah.
racing, just sticking their whole iPhone in the water and just being like, "Oh, hey, look at all this rain we got," and then pulling it back up.
The best
I
was like
mean-
I think it was like RFK or someone was like SpongeBob, like oh.
I mean, shout out to the road crew though. I mean, the officials and all that kind of stuff that got that track ready. I mean, you still
was
had,
ready a
you
lot
still-
faster
you
than I
still had
expected.
spots like water spots and stuff like that. But I'm getting off track, I guess. But I think I thought it was a good race. I'd watch it again. Like I'm indifferent whether it comes back next year, but I'm about it. I thought it was fun for what it was today.
Jake, go ahead.
Yes, I mean I'm about not necessarily like Chicago, but like street racing. I think NASCAR needs to race on a street course. This layout, I raced it in iRacing. I absolutely loved it, even though I hated it at first. I grew to love it. So it's fun to race. It seems like the racing today was super fun. The layout was fun. I know we had kind of talked about last week, like, oh man, they should just do a short track, but the layout seems to be really good. I'm not sure they should even change anything. So I think considering the layout was good, the rain obviously provided a different element, but even practice yesterday and qualifying in the dry was still really entertaining.
Mm-hmm.
You know, is the race going to be as entertaining next year? Probably not, but if you get all the concerts and all the other things, I think it's going to be a hit. But the only thing I would say, I'm about the Chicago street course. If we don't go here next year, let's go to another city that really wants NASCAR to be there. That's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
As long as we
I
check
agree with
those
that.
two boxes, good racing plus the city wants us there, it's going to be a smash.
Yeah.
I mean, something specifically on the city though, like R.I.P. to Dale Jr. not getting his pizza and his hot dog.
That was on him.
While we're talking about that, let me not that, but the street
Not that.
course. You know what the street course made
Yeah.
the Cup cars struggle with? They were hard to drive.
They're
Made
slow.
good
What
racing.
happened? What happened when the Cup cars were hard to drive? The racing was better.
Yeah.
Was it
This
hard
is-
to was it hard to drive though because of the street course, or was it hard to drive because it was wet and the street course?
No, nah, bro. That junk bumpy.
Well, okay,
And
that's
you got
true.
asphalt, you got concrete, you got
New asphalt,
shifting
old
surface,
asphalt.
you got over a bridge, back down, tight corner, around a carousel, back over the. I mean, it's just a bunch of different challenges, and there's a bunch of different things that are upsetting the car, which makes it. I mean, it's hard to drive.
yeah.
So I think if you make the Cup car hard to drive, the racing is going to be good. It's what every single podcast, every single driver is saying. So I think a huge benefit to why this racing was good was because the car was really hard to drive.
Before
Yeah.
DJ jumps in with his opinion, I just want to touch on that real quick because I thought it was hilarious. You know, we have a sim rig in the basement here, and like watching Jake run a lap earlier, there's just this one stretch where like, and we have like the whole like where it shakes and everything, and there's just this one part where you run in full speed through, and you're just jumping the whole time. There's that one big
Yeah, you
bump
can barely
in
hold
there,
on.
and you just see Jake just freaking struggling with the reel.
The
and it's
funniest
just
part with
funny.
that too is because he has like the VR headset, like looking at it on a stationary
Wong,
monitor and
wong,
watching his
wong.
head just like just like bouncing all over. It's like I have no idea what he's
It's-
looking at.
No,
It's
it's
so
crazy. I
funny,
can't even imagine
but-
being in a real car.
But,
Oh,
Like,
jeez.
bro, it's wild.
but yeah,
So,
DJ,
okay.
what do you think?
So what do I think? So I think overall, I was thinking of this weekend, and I'm like, this is probably going to be NASCAR's one of their biggest blunders recently because I think they've hit it out of the park with a lot of the new stuff they've tried. I think the Clash has been really good. A lot of the new tracks they've added, I think, have been good. I thought this was going to be the first one that was like, yeah, it didn't go over well. I'm going to say that I was wrong. I thought the race was really good. I thought the race was extremely entertaining.
Especially for a road course.
Yeah. Now, whether that was because of the rain or the track itself, it's all together at this point. So it is what it is. I think NASCAR did a fantastic job as far as the venue, as far as the facilities, as far as what they tried to do to promote this. I think as far as the event goes, they hit it out of the park. Obviously, the weather did kind of affect that and put a damper on.
Kinda.
Canceled a lot of the.
Completely, you mean?
I didn't interrupt you during your about it, not about it. Jeez.
Dang.
I don't have Matt to interrupt.
That's true. So, no, so it did put a damper on stuff, but at the same time, I think what they were doing was really good. So yeah, as far as Chicago, I want to come back here again.
I do too.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
Where at first I was like, the street course, man. It's like it's all 90-degree turns. It's kind of boring. I didn't realize there was elevation changes in this.
Neither did I till I raced it on.
Yeah,
iRacing.
It's
and-
so sketchy, bro.
And like honestly, racing it on the sim too, it's like no, this course is actually a lot more fun than I thought it would
it's
be.
so sketchy.
It is. And
Every
so-
corner's a blind corner. Dude, you see people running into the inside corner, like trying to
Yeah, cut
as
it
close
more.
as they possibly can, and then they hit
Yep.
the outside corner because they just
It was fun at
Couldn't get
iRacing. Obviously, I don't have a spotter, so like every corner I go around, like, oh, I hope there's nobody around this corner.
I don't know. You mean like the big wreck that happened at at the end there?
Did you notice how they all stopped in iRacing? Nah, they just all
No, keep
piled
going.
in there.
no,
they
no
use their
stopping.
they use their ARCA brakes, as we like to call them.
Yeah.
All right, so let's move on to our second topic. So the Xfinity race is called prior to the halfway point of the race due to rain. I'll take this one first, just to
Sure.
I'll get it out of the way. I don't know. My problem with this is so first off, I'm going to say that I'm not about it, and here's my reason. My issue is we purposely postpone things, right? We
Yep.
purposely, in this case, we've had times where we've had to run the Xfinity race after the Cup race, and I think we were talking about, Jake, you and me, where you were saying that they can run Monday if they had to, the Cup could or whatever if the race
Yeah,
got delayed.
they had one
Cup.
day.
Yeah.
So there was
Tuesday
one day.
is the absolute cutoff. They will not race Monday.
Yeah.
Tuesday, excuse me.
So
And I bet Monday probably had a hard line
It might have.
deadline as well.
So now I'm sure they were probably playing it safe because they didn't want to. If they knew they were going to postpone Xfinity, they didn't want to have to also postpone Cup, and then now they got to run those two races on Monday. I'm sure that's what
Right.
they're thinking. But the problem is if they could have run tomorrow, why didn't they just postpone the Xfinity race until tomorrow? And then if tomorrow there wasn't time, then you call it at this point. That's my argument. So I'm not about this, only because I don't I understand why they did it, but I don't think it's fair. I don't think it's a fair thing to do to the competitors, to the teams, to everyone that went all the way out there and they drove 40 laps, 30 laps, whatever it was, and nope, that's the end of the race.
And I think more than half were under yellow because of the incident.
Yeah, like so I'm not about that. I think there was a better way to handle it. I'm not NASCAR. I don't know all the different ins and outs, but I saw ways for them to
Sure.
fix it, but maybe that's just me. Jeff, what do you think?
Man, I'm kind of like you, where I could go either way. But I think if I had to take a side on this, just off the top of my head, I think I'm gonna go with. Okay, let me preface it with this. Like, it's very circumstantial on at the time with the weather, with the time constraints. Obviously, you have Cup. You have to run Cup. It's your premier event. It's the number one thing. It's the number one priority. You must run Cup if you can. So that being said, Xfinity being called at what I think they called it at like 1:30 or something like that. It was like at least 2 hours after the start time
Something like that
today. And my thing is, I'm okay with them calling it, but I'm also saying, like, oh, why couldn't they have run it on Monday since Cup didn't need to be run on Monday? But they didn't know that at the time. We didn't even know if we were going to get this Cup race in.
Yeah.
Like, we didn't know. Like, the rain was that
I
bad.
was not very optimistic at 5
We were
o'clock.
all showing up here at the basement at about 5.
Yep.
And we all showed up and we're like, we're pretty much here just to vibe and hang out with each other. Like, we're not.
Yeah, we're
gonna
not
be
watching a
any
race.
racing
We're not
today.
watching a race today.
We're not watching racing today. We're just hanging out. And like, the fact that they got the race in, we were pumped about it. And so, like, hindsight being 2020, I think that they could have done it, but I don't know, man. Like, I think that I guess I'm about them calling the race considering what they knew at the time. So, what do you think, Jake?
At first I wasn't about it because they weren't halfway, but then since we kind of got plugged in a little bit with DGM,
Yeah.
and kind of seeing like what they do to show up to the racetrack every weekend, it'd be super interesting. So tomorrow, me and Matt are going to their shop, and we're gonna go help out and prep. I presume probably the Atlanta cars, since that's where they're going this weekend, and help them work on whatever we can do. So them getting back to Charlotte and or Lake Wales, where they're from. It's hard not to be about it, and I think the payoff of running just over half an Xfinity race,
They were pretty close.
it's not worth doing tomorrow. I don't.
Okay. That's a fair point because,
Yeah.
I mean, if you think about it, yeah.
Who's gonna show up tomorrow after the banger of a Cup race?
To be honest, this weekend alone, that may not be the best argument because a lot of people are going to be off because of the holiday. But I
It's a
see what you
Yeah,
mean.
but I
Monday,
mean, I bet
they're
a lot
not-
of people are
It's a
going back
Monday.
to work.
Yeah.
It's a Monday. Like
you
I
still
don't know.
got teams that still have to get back and get ready for the next race, and
It'll
that's true.
be super interesting. I can't wait to ask their opinion tomorrow at the shop. What they thought about them calling it. I'm
That'll be-
sure
that'll be
they're
really
not gonna
good.
be
Yeah.
happy about them waiting till today to call it versus calling it yesterday. 2 laps shy of halfway. I do think NASCAR had good intentions, but I saw the radar last night, or sorry, not the radar, but the forecast last night for today, and I was like, bro, they're not racing tomorrow morning. It's like
Yeah.
90% chance of
Yeah.
heavy rain. It wasn't happening. So I think in hindsight, they probably should have just called it yesterday and just let it be what it is.
I think the problem was NASCAR wanted to make sure they had as much on track action as possible.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
you cost all the teams
I
a bunch
agree.
of money.
I agree, but I think NASCAR was
What'd you
hoping.
cost NASCAR? Some officials. I mean, how many officials do both series? I would think the majority.
Almost
safety
all.
teams, the majority of both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I think
also-
your flagmen and maybe some of your other personnel maybe do just Xfinity. Maybe I don't know. I feel like they should have called it yesterday, and for that fact, I'm just not about it.
And I mean, just
Sorry,
like, I'm sorry.
Hold on, Kuzman.
Sorry.
Don't worry. We don't really work with a NASCAR team. There's a team that like
Nah, bro. Yeah, no.
No,
Don't
we
get
don't
that.
work with a NASCAR team. They're just nice enough to
let us
idiots
stay
go
in the
hang
way
out with
of them. Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, I
ahead.
was just gonna say, like, at the end of the day, like, we're taking up city streets. People work on those
Yes.
roads. People
Not
drive.
tomorrow. Chill.
It's Monday. It's not. It's not.
I mean,
4th of
some
July yet.
people will.
I mean, I'm working
I see
tomorrow.
the sacrifice of, okay, if you got to postpone Cup till tomorrow, like, they'll make that work.
Sure.
You know, and there's going to
Yeah.
be a ton of logistical challenges. You're never going to postpone the Xfinity tomorrow. I just wish they would have postponed it yesterday. For all the
I agree.
teams that are, even JRM, I mean, they profess quite openly they're not getting rich running Xfinity, and they're a marquee team. So, like, I just don't get I don't get trying to drag them out for.
I understand that.
I don't
but,
get it
but
for
also,
for a forecast that looks horrible.
Yeah, and especially for a team like DGM, where it's like,
See,
I mean, bringing back a clean car safely might be more worth
Hey,
it.
shout
in
out
the
to them
long
too.
run.
I think they got a top 15.
Might
Yeah,
have.
awesome.
But so something else. But here's the problem. In that scenario, if they do call it right on Saturday, was it Saturday, right? They call it on Saturday. What's everyone going to be complaining about? You called the race too early. What if they could have ran on Sunday?
Yeah, but
What
look
if-
at the forecast.
everyone's a
man.
critic.
I know, but I'm
Everyone's
just
a
saying.
critic.
You know the way things work now. Everyone's going to find it.
I'd
Everyone's
probably be the
a
guy
critic.
complaining.
Exactly.
I'm not gonna lie,
No,
but
you 100% would be the guy complaining.
It's tough in hindsight, right?
It
but,
is.
But honestly, because I looked at it last night when they called it, and I pulled up my phone. The first thing I did was check the forecast, and I was like,
You're not racing, bro.
"They ain't
No.
racing.
No.
it ain't happening. They're gonna race maybe at 1 o'clock, run 2 hours, and they'll call it, and they'll run the.
I
was
think
debating
an hour to start the
personally,
Cup race.
that's what I think. I think they were hoping they could run maybe a couple of laps, maybe 10, 15 laps, get it more than halfway and say, all right, we tried. It's called.
I mean,
that's what I think they were trying
I had
to
a
do.
bunch of stuff I had to do today after church, and I was like, man, I can either, hook up with one of you guys and watch the Xfinity race, or I can go do my stuff. And I'm like, I looked up the weather. I'm like, there's no way they're
Yeah.
racing. There's not.
Not
no,
with not with
there's
the
no
tires
way.
floating down
They
pit
can't-
road.
Oh my god,
all right.
that is such a meme. Bro. That's so
I know
funny.
it is. It's really hilarious. If you don't know what we're talking about, look it up on social media. I don't remember who posted it, but there was literally a tire floating
Why have
down.
I not seen NASCAR Chasm post about that yet?
I'm sure there's something.
I'm sure he has.
I'm sure there's something he's working on. All right, so moving on to our last about it topic, the lightning delay at the end of the race on Saturday. Jake, I'll throw it to you once you finish taking that last sip there. What did you think?
Man, I'm not about these lightning delays. They've ruined too many good races. I just don't understand how you sign a waiver when you buy a ticket, not a literal sign. When you buy a ticket, if you read the small print on the back, if you hit by debris, you're liable.
yeah,
You waive all injury. You're like,
that's on you.
I've been there when Austin Dillon and Kyle Larson hit the catch fence at Daytona and people got hurt. Like, it's just part of the deal.
There was the dude that got some
I
of
sit- I
Noah
sit-
Gregson's car when he wrecked
Bro,
a
I
couple
sit
weeks ago.
6 rows up from the fence at Daytona. Like, it's part of the deal if you're going to sit that close. I don't understand why this lightning hold is. I just don't get it, man. I really just don't. 10 miles away, 8 miles away, and we stop a race from finishing. Like, put it in the waiver. If you enter track property, like, you're liable just like if a race car part or car hits you. Like, if you get struck by lightning, sucks to be you.
I mean,
The good news is that seat should be clear from then on because chances are lightning will not strike the same place twice.
I don't get it. I work on construction sites, and there's no lightning policy, and we're doing a 10-story high rise.
bro, forget construction, bro.
Bro.
We're from Florida, bro. We play in hurricanes, dude.
It's just like,
That is true.
I don't get it. It's some
throw
weird
hurricane
insurance
parties.
thing, that some nuanced thing, but it's just like, okay, I get that, like in football where there's no possible injury to a fan. But
Sure.
like I said, I've seen people get hit by crap at Daytona. So like,
Jeff, you go and then I'll go.
The Daytona infield is significantly more dangerous than lightning.
That's true.
that is very true.
R.I.P. to the guy's leg on the flagpole.
If you know, you know.
Rumor
If
has
you
it
know, you know.
chunks of flesh still exist.
Oh my god,
Jeez, bro.
that makes it
Remnants
sound
of a
so
lost
much.
time.
That makes it sound so much more brutal.
Ooh.
It was pretty brutal.
I know.
It was
I
brutal.
saw the photos.
I mean, you were there, bro.
No,
Nope.
Oh wait, no, that
he
wasn't
wasn't
the time you were there.
no,
Oh,
no,
RIP.
no.
So as far as the Lightning's concerned, I think it's booty, just like Jake said. I mean, I think it's one of those things where it's liability and precautionary and legal and all this stuff. But I mean, like I said, if you're signing a waiver that you might get hit by a freaking tire flying into the stands or like cars crashing into the catch fence and some of the catch fence goes into your neck or whatever, I don't know. I mean, just being realistic. God.
God.
But I mean, like, if that's what you're signing up for, I'm not worried about lightning that's 8 miles away. Again, we are from Florida. This is
That is true.
This is very normal for us. So for those of you like Kuzman from Minnesota, I don't know what the lightning's like in Minnesota, but it's not like it is
Hey,
here.
it ain't bad till it hits your house. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, hey, it hit the tree in the front yard. That was exciting.
Oh,
Keep
man.
them going.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, dang, good thing I trimmed the branches this week.
Yeah, right.
But like, no, I mean, I don't see it as a big deal personally. I really don't. I think it's a little silly, especially being at Daytona and being super frustrated when they're like calling it for lightning. It's not even raining out. And they're
Bro.
calling it for lightning, and you're just sitting there in the stands and you're like, bro, like I
When
paid
Justin
a lot of money
Haley
for
won
this
that
tickets.
race
I
because
was
of the
so pissed,
lightning,
bro.
bro, because me and Matt were there. We were so disappointed, bro, because it wasn't raining. And they could have probably finished the
Just
race.
lightning.
It just kept lightning the whole time, and we just sat there just like,
These cars are going 200 miles an hour. What are the chances that the lightning's going to strike them, bro?
not them, it's for the fans.
I mean,
that one guy
lightning
died.
strikes planes.
One guy died in the campground.
I guess
You
that makes
know?
sense.
Your logic sucks, Jeff. All right, so
I've
let
lived
me
in Florida for
do.
26 years and I haven't gotten struck by lightning. I'm good.
That's also true. It's not raining tonight, right? So all right, so my turn. I agree with you guys. However, my argument
You're
for
wrong.
this, I'm probably am.
I'm just kidding.
My argument with this is, I don't think the lightning policy is for the fans. I think that it's for the people that work at the track.
Staff, yeah.
I think
Okay.
that's what it is. Because, okay, using your example at Daytona, how tall is the spotter stand at Daytona?
Nah, I'm not gonna lie, Daytona, you way up there.
I mean, the planes almost hit you like what was it? The Thunderbirds?
The
The
planes.
Thunderbirds basically almost buzzed the tower.
Okay, so let me ask you this. Okay, at Daytona, that building is meant to withstand lightning strikes. I'm
Yeah, but not
sure-
the spotters on top of
Hold
it.
on. Commercial buildings have lightning rods to
True.
transfer that lightning energy down into the ground, right? Being in commercial construction,
Yes.
I know a few things about this. So take the spotters down from the top and bring them down to the top row. There's a huge open section, bro. Like,
Okay.
it's doable. Like, it's doable.
It is doable. but
okay, it's over.
no, but see, here's the
It's
thing.
over.
Go ahead, DJ. I want to hear this.
So anyway, I was gonna. I had to think about that for a second. No. So my thing with that is, I agree that would be a solution, but the problem is that's not what they do. The problem is you still have spotters on the roof, right? As of right now. So the problem is, and then like you look at all the TV guys, what are they on? They're on scissor lifts by themselves, usually in the middle of nowhere, up on a metal pole, basically, with a metal camera in their hands.
Fine.
I'm just saying. Okay, let me ask
Just
you
make
this,
the
Jake.
grips- just
Jake,
make the
Jake,
grips
You work at a
plastic.
construction company, right?
Yep.
Does your company have workman's comp?
Yep.
What if they said, "Yeah, sorry, it's not covered this time"? You gonna leave there?
He's getting paid to say all this.
Nah.
Okay, you wouldn't. That's probably true. But my point is,
I'm not the right person to ask for
that's
this
true.
question.
That is true. No, you don't care.
I drove
So-
a 120-foot boom lift in the air and just drove it across the ground 120 feet in the air.
Yeah,
I'm not
Jake-
the right person to ask
that's-
this question.
that's
I'm not
true.
normal with that.
That's true. Jake is definitely not normal.
I also watched
So-
Austin Dillon hit the fence in front of me 6 rows in the front. I'm like, this is a good seat.
and immediately said, "I got to get a photo of this."
And then watch Ryan Newman do the same thing. Like, this is a good seat.
Instantly,
That's true. Jake
instantly,
is not right. We
instantly calls the sales rep. I need to renew these seats for next year.
Yes, sir. I will sign tomorrow.
Kuzman says, "Just put them all in rubber suits and boom, problem solved."
Oh my!
Yes, we're gonna put them all in wetsuits, basically. and put
It
them
all
up there.
comes down to insurance, and
I'm
I mean,
sure that
I do
it's-
get
I
what
think
you're
it- I
saying.
think
it's
it
all
is-
about
Yeah.
the workers. And
I don't think it
everything,
has
but-
anything to do with the fans. It's all with the workers. I think is what it is. I agree. It sucks, but to
They
be
applied
honest,
for the job. They knew what they signed
Okay,
up for.
okay.
remote operators.
What workers? What workers?
I think specifically the camera operators would be the ones.
Let's
that
go remote.
We could.
Let's go remote.
The technology already exists. It's
It already
doable.
exists. Let's go
It's
remote.
very doable. I agree. No argument there. I agree, but that's
all
not
the,
where we're at
all
now.
the lighting poles and everything else is way above you. I just love it like Daytona. Like we were camping 3, 4, 5 years ago maybe in July, and it is like an absolute monsoon, thunder, light. It is coming down. This is the year Austin Dillon hit the fence, 2015. Man, wow.
That was a long time ago, yeah.
7 years ago.
We old.
Yeah, 8 years ago this year. And they're like, "Oh, seek shelter." I'm like, "Oh yeah, because my tent is gonna do a whole lot of good." Like, but it's like it's kind of like a fluke. Like there's nowhere to seek shelter in the majority of the racetrack. Like like a lot of the people can go in their RV.
in the
but-
fans, like the fans
Yeah,
and like the
bro.
stands could, but
I'm gonna stand here next to the $13 beer.
but no.
But if you're
okay.
in the stands,
it's a
and you
giant
go down,
metal structure.
Yeah, but if you go to the concourse and the lightning strikes, say a light pole, it's still going to go down.
True.
Like it, I don't know, bro.
Look, I'm not
I
disagreeing.
get it. It's all insurance.
I think it's 100% solvable, though, is my point. I just don't where we are at currently in the
Sign a
sport.
waiver.
It's not there. No,
Fine.
I don't. I'm pretty sure
Waivers
there's
are the
At least
answer.
you. No, I'm not gonna say that.
no. Jake, stop. Just behave.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Just say at least you go quick.
Oh, he went there. anyway.
Oh,
Oh, no.
I'll go quick for NASCAR.
I can say that because I kind of been hit by lightning a little bit, so I can say that.
You got to tell the story now
I
because
don't know what you're talking
No,
about.
I have
Facts.
heard the story. It was actually
I was pressure washing, and there was a thunderstorm. It's probably like 8 miles away. It's fine.
Wait, when?
Last week.
I was like 17, 18.
This was a while
lightning
ago.
hit a tree about
it's like 20
15
years
feet
ago.
away, and because I was pressure washing and it was raining, it went through the ground and lit me up pretty good. it felt pretty exciting. My fingertips were all like where I was holding the pressure washer were all burned. I had all burns on my fingertips. It was a good time. So
I have heard that story before.
Oh my god.
Now
the
imagine.
second time,
I've actually.
Hold on, you've been struck by lightning twice.
no. But the second time I was walking into a
The
7-Eleven
second
and it
time.
struck the corner of the building. That was pretty exciting. 'cause
I
that
was walking in the gas
loud, bro.
station.
Oh, I bet.
I was in the gas station buying Rockstar.
No, get my taquitos, taco and cheese
He
for
works,
life.
he works in construction. Remember? 7-Eleven is
The
life.
7-Eleven.
Oh my gosh! All right, so that has been our about it, not about it topics. Unless you guys have something
I
else.
thought
you
it
wanna
was the
throw in.
weather forecast.
I mean, it could be. Oh, Jeff broke his mic. What did you do?
We're good.
I can't
What are you
believe you've
doing,
done this.
bro?
Anyway,
We could have guessed the weather as much as the meteorologists in Florida do.
that's true.
Did they
So-
name that tropical depression?
It's gonna
over
rain.
in Chicago. I legit got a notification on my phone, and I pulled it up saying like this tropical storm has reached 35-mile-an-hour winds. It's like, oh, this is probably over Chicago, and it was like, oh, California. It's like,
We couldn't
Yeah.
go
I
that.
fully expected it to be like Chicago, the way it was spinning over top.
Dude, it was wild. So did you get a Kuzman question? Sorry,
did. I
This
got
is our
it.
about it, not about it topic. So now we're gonna move on to our question,
Ah,
Kuzman and friends question of the
The
week.
Gooseman question.
Here we go again. So if you have a question that you want to see us answer on the show, submit it to us on Twitter, and then if we like it, we'll throw it in. So Kuzman has sent us a good question, I'm presuming. Jake?
It's
It
pretty
better
good.
be.
He said, after watching this race, would you enjoy seeing more street races and replacement of actual road courses? I am, after this, 100%.
Sure.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'd agree. I'd like to see. I don't know if I'd want to see the same city every year, or the same course every year, but it'd be cool to kind of swap around, see what the market looks like.
I think it depends on if the race is good. If the
Sure.
race is good, don't change it.
I
If
mean,
the race
yeah,
is kind of stale, okay, let's move.
I mean, Chicago was great. I thought it was good. But I mean, what about like some other big markets that we've talked about in the past. I mean, like Manhattan.
Bro, I would
you know,
love to see a road course
that'd
in
be
New York.
Big
Oh,
That
Apple.
would be wild.
That'd be dope.
So
Big Apple 350. I don't know.
Denver's been mentioned.
Denver has been
Denver
mentioned.
has been
That would
mentioned.
be
That'd
wild
cool.
because that's again a totally new market.
I read a
Bro, I'd
tweet
fly out
this
there
week
so
that
quick.
said
I know you
bring-
have friends out there too.
Yeah, I'd fly up there so quick and
That'd
bring
be
Hunter
awesome.
with us. Yeah,
I read a
Um,
tweet this week that said, "What if NASCAR starts bidding the NASCAR
Street
street
course?
course to different cities?"
That would be cool. So I will say this.
That would be
So here's
freaking
my
sweet.
opinion on that question. My opinion is I don't think I want to see one street course a year. I don't think multiple
Really?
street.
Okay.
I don't think multiple. I think if you start doing it, then it loses its charm.
I think
Like-
I
But
like
but
that.
in trade of some of these road courses,
I'd be okay with that. Yeah, I'd be okay with trading a road course for it.
I don't want to. I don't want to sacrifice
if
ovals.
If it, yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
But if it was like, hey, we got to get rid of Indy or something like
no,
that.
no, no. We're going back to the oval, or we're going back to the oval for Indy.
Yeah, if
Yeah.
we did.
We're not getting rid of Indy,
in,
please.
in lieu of
You mean
of
we
a
are
road
getting?
course,
We want to get rid of Indy.
No, we want to keep Indy. Just go back to the regular
Okay, I
track, the
gotcha.
real track.
in lieu
None of
of
this
a road
backwards
course,
crap.
In lieu of a road course, I'd be about it for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, oh man, Denver would be so sick. I mean, like
Denver would be a good one.
Denver would be
Denver
so
would
sick.
be interesting.
I literally was
I'm not
there,
gonna lie.
not super long ago, but I was there, and like you walk the streets, man, and you're just, I mean, it's a Manhattan type area, or I'm sorry, not Manhattan, metropolitan type area.
Yeah.
But everywhere you look down the road, it's mountains in the background. Dude.
We'd
It's
be
absolutely
awesome
beautiful,
backdrops.
and it's awesome looking, and that would be a. I mean, it's a market that we haven't tapped as NASCAR, but that'd be sweet. And then
sorry, Kuzma's comments are hilarious.
what
Did you read them?
Yes, I've been reading them. I've
Just
just
like
been,
ask everyone on the way in if they're okay to be struck by lightning in order to keep the race going.
listen. You're
Yes,
not.
sir.
Are you okay with us keeping the race running if you
Bro,
get
that's
struck by
a,
lightning?
hey, that's a normal day in Florida, bro.
That's
Let's
true.
go.
that's what I'm saying, dude. Yeah.
What's Daryl?
That's
What's
why
it
we
called?
have-
the cyclone. What's it called?
the vortex.
The vortex. Let's go.
That's why we have all the palm trees. They catch all the lightning bolts for us.
That's
know,
Is that why mine's half dead?
Probably.
It's why it's like our friend Quinn from New York.
Oh man.
It's like if he's wondering why there's a palm tree in every front yard in Florida, that's why. It's to catch the lightning.
Yep. That was it.
But
I like his other comment of we don't name our storms in the Midwest. Like, hey, bro.
Yeah.
Hey, we name our storms because like we get parties.
it's kind of like a gender reveal party because like we get it like ahead of time and we know the names and it's like all right.
Hey, a 1 and a 2, you know, you're getting off work. It's just gonna be a normal afternoon rain. It's gonna be fine. Party, hang out. You get to a 3, 4, you're like, let's go ahead and get some food because they're gonna run out. It gets to a 5, you're like, hey, wait
And
a
the
minute,
sad thing
wait a
is
minute.
you don't necessarily know a 5 is coming until about a day or two later, and that's when everyone
Yeah.
finds out. So
Hey,
everything's
what's
hectic.
funny is a 1 or 2, the food runs out. A 3 or 4, the liquor runs out. A 5,
The Chinese
people
restaurants run
start
out.
leaving.
No, a 5, the Chinese restaurants run out.
oh boy.
That's when
No.
you no.
We
What
cooked all the cats. There's none left.
Like hurricanes are basically
Oh my
just
God.
hurricanes down here are basically just snow days up north, except our roofs. We have to replace our roofs.
well, I mean, they might too. I think like the weight can crush it. I
No,
think
but going back to the
Sorry.
road course
How much
thing,
we
to
know
get
about
back,
snow?
to get back on course, the road course thing.
is
I
a
mean,
mess.
I think
What are we
it's
talking
great.
about?
I don't know. There was a
Like-
race in Chicago.
But even if like taking some of the normal street courses we already have, like the Miami course, like isn't there a Miami course that
For
F1
F1?
ran? Yeah, like why
Yeah.
don't we run that course?
Nah, bro.
Nah.
So I was talking to a friend of mine. So the drivers
Sorry,
in F1.
Jeff.
I just don't know. I didn't watch the race, so I wouldn't
So
know.
a friend of mine was asked the same question, but the drivers in F1 don't like that track because they literally repave it. So it's fresh asphalt. What do we know about fresh asphalt?
Yeah,
Doesn't
it
drive
race
well.
good.
Fresh asphalt makes for bad racing.
Yeah, it doesn't race good.
So unless you make it a super speedway like Atlanta, which is like kind of like the anomaly, right? For NASCAR, it only fits in that niche.
Yeah.
That niche.
Sure.
Niche thing.
Niche.
Niche. Whatever.
Niche.
Niche.
Niche. Niche.
oh my
Niche.
god!
Niche.
Open the niche.
Just stop, Jake. Focus.
We
Focus.
got
Okay.
to
You're
focus
trying to
on
make
the
Jake.
niche
You're
market.
trying to make a point.
I do think because they another friend of mine even said, "What about like Long Beach?" But no, bro. Let's just go do our own thing. Let IndyCar and IMSA do the Long Beach thing. It's cool. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Who's to say NASCAR? Okay, now in favor of running a points race at the Coliseum? Yes, sir. Let's go run Long Beach. I'm in, 100%.
As opposed to the Clash?
As opposed to a points race at the Coliseum. Not opposed to the Clash. I like
Yeah, I
the Clash
agree.
of the Coliseum. Although I wish the Clash was back at Daytona, especially since they raised my camping spot in February for less racing, but whatever. And less practice. A little upset Daytona.
Okay,
But
Jake.
it's okay.
Get to your point, please.
But like,
Focus.
I don't want to go do whatever other people done. What other people do. Let's go do our own thing. The Chicago Street Course.
Chicago.
Yeah, bro.
So you know what's
Let's
wild?
go build a racetrack that races good for NASCAR.
So I know this course wouldn't race well, but there's a part of me that would love.
I know
and
you're gonna say. Go ahead.
You don't know what I'm going to say, probably. So growing up, I played Gran Turismo.
Laguna Seca.
Oh
No.
my god. So we're
I
back
didn't
on
think
Okay,
about
that the
Gran
corkscrew.
Turismo.
Oh, corkscrew. How many cars lose traction? All of them.
I thought you were gonna say
no.
Laguna
So
Seca.
I grew up playing Gran Turismo. Gran Turismo had, I think it was Gran Turismo 4 specifically, had a New York course, and it was wild because you're driving down Times Square. But bro, can you imagine a better backdrop
No, bro.
to a race
That's it.
than Times Square?
If we go
The
to
problem
New
is
York,
with
it
that-
has to be in Manhattan.
Yeah, it has to
My
be.
my
It has
I
to be,
have
bro.
family that lives an hour outside the city. If that happens, I'm going, bro.
Bro, if they go
Oh,
to
yeah.
New York, I am 100% going.
Yeah.
That would be incredible. If
That
they
would
go
be
to
amazing.
Denver, I'm going.
Aunt Karen, let's go.
Chicago? Hey, Chicago
go.
a little wild. Like
Hunter in
I
Colorado.
mean, New York
let's
is
go.
too, but
Nah,
I mean,
but not
that's
like
true.
Chicago.
That's not like Chicago. Yeah.
Dude,
No, yeah.
that'd be
So
sick.
I mean, that's so I would love New York would be cool. Denver would be cool. I mean, there's other towns. I'm sure you could think of other cities that would work and be a cool venue and stuff like that.
I mean, dude, even what's crazy is that this kind of racing has been like I don't know how to explain it, but I know back in one of the earlier NASCAR games, or at least the earlier NASCAR games for me, like NASCAR 2007, there's like a part in your career mode where you're racing Ryan Newman through the streets of
Yep.
some city.
Yep.
And I'm like, dude, this would
There's
be
even in
this would
2000
be sick to do in real life with a full field.
in 2000 NASCAR 2005. I think there's a Long Beach,
Yeah.
Chicago NASCAR street course.
And it's like, dude, now that it's actually seeing it happening, it's like having an epiphany of like, oh my god, I remember playing something like this when I was
So
young.
we're
That's
definitely
sick.
getting off on a tangent here on this whole
I
thing.
know.
But like, what's super cool, I don't know if y'all realize this, but I guess maybe just me being a construction worker, I just realized this. But the street course system they brought in, it's a modular system. They can take this anywhere. It's not
Yeah.
course specific to Chicago. Everything is modular and sectional. They can take this anywhere, bro.
Yeah.
So if it doesn't work in Chicago, they can take this and go anywhere. I think street racing is a mainstay in NASCAR, and I think the way this went, I'm definitely down for one next year, and I'd love to even say two next year.
Okay. Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
like I like, you know what I like about this racetrack?
Streets in New York, by the way. It was New York.
Was it?
The game.
In
It was-
2007?
Yep. I had to look it up.
Hey, that would be sick.
There was or not there was.
Someone on Reddit. Shout out to Newman who gave us our first start of NASCAR after we beat him in the streets in New York.
Nice. There you go.
Love it. No, there was it's just like there like some of the road courses. Like I like Coda, but the problem with Coda, there's too much runoff.
Yeah.
So if you spin out,
There's
there's
no
no penalty.
cautions. Yeah. there's nothing.
Yeah.
Sonoma, same thing. So I like the if you stuff it in the fence,
It's a flag.
you know, you get a caution.
Kuzman says like the NASCAR Rumble courses. I don't-
God.
I don't know what that
Oh.
is.
I haven't played it. It's like an
Oh,
arcade
man.
style game, I think.
Oh boy.
Perfect. It's called
No,
the
but-
Ross Chastain simulator.
No, I think everything I saw today, I was just taking mental notes. I was like, oh, this is a setup for the future.
Yes.
This
Oh,
isn't
yeah.
a, this
it's a
isn't a
test.
1 year.
Oh,
This
yeah.
isn't
It's a
a
test.
3 year plan. Everything they bought, everything they built is for a long-term plan. They didn't. Would they say they spent like $50 million?
Oh, it's a
In
lot.
some capacity.
Yeah, bro. But next time they go to the street course, they don't have to spend this much money because they already have all the stuff.
yeah.
They have you gotta close off the streets and do all the things and pay the crews to build it, but you got the stuff.
Yeah.
So I think this is a long-term investment. I think it's gonna be dope, man. Denver, Chicago, New York, California. I mean, pick your place.
You
It's
can
gonna
go
be
to
dope.
you can go to Detroit. There'd be like 4 people there.
Downtown Church Street, Orlando. Hey,
Hey. Oh man.
it'd be dope.
Imagine the traffic that would cause on the 429 or the 408.
No,
The 408.
I don't want to think about
I-4 is already a mess.
We don't need more help on I-4. That's true.
We'd have to just
So-
hike there.
The
Let's-
other thing Kuzma sent, not in his question of the week, but he did mention on a side note what Justin Marks has done for NASCAR.
It's honestly,
Oh,
he's,
gosh,
he's
man.
the future.
Freaking real.
I don't care what anyone says
Unbelievable.
about Hendricks or Joe Gibbs. No, Justin Marks. That
Bro,
team
they
is the
better
future.
catch up.
Even though
Yeah.
he wrecked yesterday.
Bro.
No, he didn't wreck.
imagine-
He blew his engine. He was driving too hard.
He was. That dude was driving like
He
a
was
freaking-
wheeling that
Madman.
thing.
Madman.
Woo!
But imagine, like, if you get SVJ back, right?
G.
SVG.
Yeah.
J?
SVG.
Whatever,
G.
J.
Van Gissenberg.
Imagine if you get Scott back in another race this year. Watkins Glen.
Kane.
Bro, he won. What kind of sponsorships can you sell on that?
Everything.
Bro,
UPS is coming back. They already
it's
have
just,
the
they're
relationship.
changing
Shane
the
owe
landscape
money.
of sponsorship. It's incredible, man. I love
Yeah,
it.
dude.
They're innovative. They're fresh. It's so much fun to be a Trackhouse fan, even though their merch needs a little help. Like, y'all get there. But
Yeah.
you
Some
know,
of their is
it's
weird.
fun
man.
to be
some
a
of their merch
Trackhouse
is
fan.
hot, and then some
I
of
will
them
say
it's
this:
not.
their merch needs a little bit of help, but for the most part, most of their merch that they do have is really good.
No, their
Yeah.
merch is good. Their Ross Chastain merch needs help,
Yeah.
but it needs to be a little bit more
nah,
hard.
but I mean, it's just they are changing the landscape of what
Oh,
it
yeah.
means to be a team owner. I
Yeah.
could see in the next handful of years, 5 years, bro. Who's to say they're not a 4-car team?
I think they're buying it.
100%,
They buy
dude.
an SHR team and put this guy in full time.
I don't think Tony sells a sponsor. I don't think Tony sells a charter. Excuse me, not a sponsorship.
Yeah,
I don't see
man.
him selling a
I
charter.
don't know about that. Yeah,
Yeah.
Bro,
but-
we talked about it last week. Haas got dummy money.
Yeah, they didn't.
Nah, bro. Haas got
But,
dummy
if
but-
money.
anything,
but
it
to
would
come
be
into the
it would
sport-
be Rick Ware that
but
would
to
probably
come into
sell.
the sport and
Probably.
in your third, I think their third year. This is their third full time year, right?
Which one?
They were
Trackhouse?
first in the Gen 6, and
Yep.
then they
Yep.
had
Yep.
The Ross Chastain was the
Yeah.
first full year, and then
No,
this,
they had
year.
Suarez in Gen 6.
yeah,
and then they had
And then Ross
Okay, so
and
this is their
Suarez,
third-
Gen 7, and then this year. So
Yeah,
this is
so
the
this is
third
third
this is
year,
their
yeah.
third full time year, and they're outrunning Stuart Haas. They're outrunning
2311.
RCR. They're outrunning other startups around the same time, like
2311
2311.
is the closest comparison,
They're
and it's not a comparison.
and you're beating
Has-
Hendrick cars,
2311 is one with Reddick, right?
yeah, Reddick
this
and
year.
Bubba.
and you're beating Hendrick cars.
Bubba hasn't won this year.
I know, but I'm just saying those.
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
their
yeah.
team.
They're very comparable,
Comparable.
and I guess they're pretty equal this year, seeing as Ross won and Reddick's won. So
Yeah,
So-
Reddick has one win,
I think so.
1 or 2. One.
It's just one if he has one. I
He
don't
won
remember.
what? Coda.
Justin Marks.
Coda. I think it was Coda.
Yeah.
Justin Marks has methodically built this team to be competitive from the start. And knowing Justin Marks from his prior, like earlier NASCAR years, he's, he wants to win so freaking bad, dude. All he wants is to win. That's it. Like, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter who you put the bumper to. It doesn't matter who you wreck. I mean, it kind of does because he kind of took the balls away from Ross Chastain. But
He did
I
come
mean,
out.
I
He
mean-
did come out and talk about that, by the way,
But yeah, he did.
and basically said like, I don't know what y'all are talking about. It was not that kind of talking to,
It probably wasn't, but like
but it kind of felt like it.
it felt like it. That's the perception we have as fans because we're just fans.
Yeah,
but
we're fans of Ross.
uh,
Sorry.
we're just fans of the sport in general. So that's what it looks like to us. But maybe he had a couple rough weeks or whatever the deal was. But the fact that he came out in 3 years, and is a championship caliber team, haven't won a
It was a
championship, but they are a
championship caliber in 2 years.
2 years. And
From
on top of that, you're just bringing random
I wouldn't
dudes
say
in.
1
One
year. He was a cup team for 1 year,
and
and
then was
next year
1
they
year,
were
and then
competitive.
in
That's
that
fair.
year. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Yeah, you're right. Like, yeah, fiscal year for sure. But I mean, it's just crazy, man. Like, he just wants to win so bad. He picked his drivers specifically right. He's got the investment. He's got the celebrity backing, just like 23XI does
yeah.
from Pitbull. I mean, he's got the funding. He's got the sponsorship. I mean, it's the perfect, literally perfect storm
If
for
you
this
look
guy
at those two teams
and his team.
between 23, and I know we're getting off and like
No,
we're just
this is
talking
this is
about
good.
stuff.
We need
But
to talk about
you
this.
talk about 23XI, you talk about Trackhouse, okay? 23XI, you have 23XI, you have Denny Hamlin as the owner,
trash.
a driver. Calm down.
I'm
Calm down. A driver, a driver that is a team owner.
just
right?
salty that I picked
Justin
him today.
Marks, a driver that is a team owner. You have a celebrity that has a lot of money with Pitbull. And in 23XI, you have a celebrity with a bunch of money. That's Michael Jordan. They both started, I think maybe 23XI may have started the year before, but maybe it was the same years. I could be wrong. But it was basically the same time. And look at the difference. And I don't think it's that the drivers aren't necessarily talented, because I think Reddick is a fantastic driver. Bubba's pretty good.
I'm gonna shut you down there. I don't think they're that different. I just think you have so many more headlines with Ross, and with the Project 91.
Project 91, I think,
You
is a
take
big
those
thing.
two things out, they're pretty similar.
Although Travis Pastrana was running really good in the 23XI equipment.
No, this is true. I did forget about the Travis Pastrana run. I mean, he
Didn't
make
they
a
have
pretty good
another
run.
one? Another road course guys at one point?
I feel like they did.
At Coda, I think. Didn't they put somebody in?
Wait,
Gosh,
are you
who
talking? Are you talking about Project 91?
No.
No.
23XI. They
yeah.
had a third car, I thought, other than Pastrana. Man, I cannot remember.
Oh, I think I know who you're talking about.
Wasn't it like some random? It was some random driver. Like
Right.
I can't remember.
Because
I
the
was-
only other
I
only
think
other
you're
Project
right.
91 dude was Kimmy.
Kimmy
at
Kimmy
Watkins
at
Glen, but
Watkins
that's it.
Glen, and Kimmy was at Coda, I think, this year, wasn't he?
yes.
Wasn't he? Yeah, he
Yes.
was the Coda one.
Yeah,
so.
he did 2 of their stints so far.
Yeah.
But
So-
I mean, just to be competitive that quick, man, it's just crazy, dude.
I mean,
sure.
both teams. I mean, hats off to both 23XI and
They have
know,
definitely shook it up. Like
Trackhouse.
23XI,
Yeah,
like
I mean,
we're hating
yeah.
a little bit on 23XI compared to Trackhouse, but like honestly, they've done a really good job in the few years that they've been a
yeah.
team.
I mean,
I
Michael-
think the thing that hurt 23XI was losing Kurt Busch.
That hurt.
That's
set him
a
back.
big
man.
loss.
I'm
dude.
sure that
You lost your
derailed it.
veteran-
We haven't heard an update on Kurt Busch in a long time.
You lost your veteran influence right there.
Man, I would love to see him come back part time.
That would be sick.
He
Bro,
wants to.
yeah.
I know he
bro.
wants to. I was just gonna say though, I mean, it's just funny that Trackhouse is definitely surpassing 23XI, and then all of a sudden, I think it's sus that Michael Jordan sells the Hornets. It's like he sells
I gotta
the
put
Hornets.
more money
I need
in.
to put more money in the NASCAR. I need to be competitive.
I think while we're talking about Kurt Busch, because we haven't in a while.
Yeah.
With Noah Gragson, Bowman, who's another one that missed the race?
Not Blaney.
Cody Ware missed the race.
Well, he missed a
Simpson.
lot of races for different
Well,
reasons.
yeah, but he missed the race due to injury
Yeah, he did.
since Kurt Busch got taken out.
Yep.
There's another one that
There
I'm
was
missing.
somebody just recently, like like a week or two ago.
Well, you had Gregson. You're not thinking about Gregson, right?
I don't think so. There was somebody like a week
There's
ago.
been I think there's been 4 drivers that have been taken out due to injury.
Concussion specifically.
Yes, or at
Bowman.
least like
was one of them.
symptoms.
Yeah.
So bro, if you're Kurt Busch and you've been out this long, is it worth the risk?
To come back, I don't know.
Maybe
man.
it depends on the race.
Hard to say, man.
Depends on the course and the race that you're coming back to, I think.
Yeah,
mean,
but
but
I mean,
Kurt's-
at Gateway, you would think that's a track that you probably shouldn't see an injury. And Noah missed a week. Could have
Yeah.
missed 2, but it's hard to say with the off week.
Yeah, true.
I mean, it's kind of hard, man. I mean, but
It's
I mean,
like-
Kurt's an OG though. He's got the cash. I mean, maybe you just cut your losses and just buy into a team. or
That
something.
makes
I don't
me
know.
that gives me the vibe of Dale Earnhardt Jr.
Yeah.
Being a longtime Dale Jr. fan, you know, he knew that if he kept pushing the limits, he was eventually going to cross a threshold of maybe no return.
Yeah,
of the CMT and not being able to come
Yeah.
back. So
maybe.
perhaps he's weighing that in. Maybe he is clear to race, but it's not worth the risk.
Yeah. So now that we've kind of just gone off on all kinds of different
All
random,
kinds
Yeah.
of
all
tangents.
different directions. Let's talk and wrap things up. We'll start talking about next week. So next week we're going to Atlanta at night.
I am so hyped for this
So
race,
pumped.
man.
Man,
We haven't seen an Atlanta night race, and I don't even know
Ever?
how
Long
Well,
time.
I mean,
Ah, bro,
dude.
she got lights.
well, I mean street, not
Long
street.
time.
Street.
Street.
Sorry, I've been hearing
street course.
I've been hearing too much Chicago street course recently. Don't know why.
That would be a sick course. I've been to Atlanta. That's kind of that would be kind of.
They wouldn't go more than 10 miles an hour. The traffic there is too bad.
Too many tents on the side of the road.
okay.
And Chicago doesn't.
I don't know.
Well,
I've
I mean,
driven through
hold on.
Atlanta, so I know.
I mean,
Okay.
Orange Blossom Trail is not much better.
Stop. We're going to get canceled. Oh, God. So the Atlanta Super
You gotta
Speedway night
get
race.
west of Paramount.
you mean Paramore?
Paramount, whatever.
Oh my god!
Uh,
Just bleep this out.
That's what you get when you're.
That's how this is going. All right. So,
No, I'm super hyped, man.
what do we think?
It's gonna be awesome, man. I mean, we've been to a couple of Atlanta day races, and they've been awesome, especially since they repaved it.
Yep.
We've been to before they repaved it and after, so we've gotten to see the differences. Obviously, the super speedway format is so much better. A lot of fun, a lot of excitement. I think the nighttime is just gonna make it even better. I don't know how the night racing itself, like with the track conditions and the heat and stuff like that, is gonna work. I don't know. But I do know that just the vibe itself of like it
I know
being a
the
night
lo-
race
I
and being a
think-
prime time style race, it's
Yeah.
gonna be a lot
I
of
think
fun.
the Cup race will be very similar to what we saw in February because it kind of started off cold, but it did get pretty hot and a little slick.
Yeah.
But the pack racing was still really good.
Sure.
And they're coming with pack racing setup, right? The big spoiler, not restrictor plate, but tapered spacer that acts
Yeah.
like a restrictor plate, well, whatever.
Whatever, same thing.
It's
Basically
a different
the same.
tapered space than anywhere else, but it's not a restrictor plate, whatever. It does the
restricts
same
airflow.
freaking thing. So my big takeaway is
It's a restrictor cone.
the trucks are in Mid Ohio this week, so that's totally different. But the Xfinity cars, so we saw in March, I think I said February earlier for the Cup race.
Yeah, you
My
did.
bad. Sorry.
I was just
March.
ignoring
The Xfinity race kind of got a little strung out, so it kind of raced like a super speedway, but kind of not. So I'm curious to see what the night race does to the Xfinity race.
Sure.
Because the Cup race, I think, is going to race very super speedway-esque because, like I said, it got a
gonna
little
have-
hot on
they're-
that March afternoon.
that. They'll probably have more grip than they did before.
I think so.
Yeah.
I am kind of excited to actually watch it on TV and get like that aerial view a little bit. We've been going to Atlanta, like every
I'm
Atlanta
kind of
race.
sad we're not going.
I'm sad we're not going.
It's going to be way too freaking hot.
No, I'm sad. I'm
That's
super.
facts.
I'm super sad we're not going. I mean, it's
Like,
just what it is. But
We went
I
when
mean,
we went in what was it March or whatever, and it was
Bro, it was
freezing.
hot.
No, it was freezing.
Freezing,
And then
bro.
by the end of
Oh,
the
wait,
day,
no,
we were
oh.
burning up.
Oh yeah.
Remember, we
No,
showed
that's
up
what
and
I'm
it was
saying.
what, like
It
30
was
degrees.
cold. It was the drive here was cold.
Sorry,
The drive-
Guzman. Sorry, we don't use your frigid
We
weather.
have thin blood, bro. We have thin blood.
30 degrees is cold
60
for
degrees is cold.
Okay.
That's a weather that warrants a
us.
sweater.
It was 30 degrees with a wind
I don't
chill.
even see what he said.
No, he hasn't said anything. I'm just giving him a chance.
Oh,
to-
we're just
I was
we're,
like waiting for him.
we're
I-
preemptively responding to
Yeah.
his Minnesota
I
blood.
get-
Nah,
could just
bro.
see
If
what
it
I'm-
gets
hey,
below
man, what-
freezing, man, it's
don't you
different
know
here.
it's not that cold? Like,
but no.
Sorry.
I mean, obviously
sorry, Guzman.
obviously stoked we're
You
not
don't sound like that.
super not stoked we're not going, but I am interested to actually get an aerial view
Yes.
of a lot of the I want to we
Especially
sit
at
in this-
night.
And the last couple times we've been, or the 3 times we went, we sat in the same exact spot, which is a great spot. But I'm excited to get the aerial
Different
view
views.
of the how the track's
I'm
racing.
just gonna be
and
glad
the
not to be sitting in the
close-ups.
sun for 7 hours. So that'll be nice. I come home from
You gotta
Atlanta,
get outside more, bro.
bro. I come home from
Touch some
Atlanta.
grass.
See, I work.
No.
I work outside, bro.
I
I'm like,
I do
literally-
too, bro.
I'm like, whatever.
I literally come home from Atlanta every single time, and I have sunburn on one side of my face because of the way the sun sets.
That is true.
So it's one side of my face.
I woke up for work the other day at like 5:30, and I was like, you know what?
Kuzman, 30 degrees is t-shirt weather. Broken out. We're bundled all the way up.
No, 60-degree weather is hoodie weather for us, but we're also still wearing flip flops.
Yes, that's real.
But no, like, oh shoot, I forgot what I was going to say.
Atlanta, we're looking forward to it.
So
Kuzma got me off track, bro.
back to what we're saying. It'll be
It'll be a lot of fun.
This will probably be one of the most meaningful, not to get super serious, but it'll be one of the most meaningful races to me of my life because I'll get to go be a part of putting a car on a track.
Well,
you
that's
know?
true.
And
Yeah.
like that, like my anticipation and just excitement for tomorrow, even if I don't do anything, bro, but just to know that I like got to be a small piece,
Jeff, put a sticker on that car.
I'm gonna work on it. Maybe next time.
I might be able to.
But
go.
like just
I
to
gotta
go
work.
and be
Oh,
a part of
big
that
sad.
process. It was funny because we were kind of telling some of the DGM guys that, and they're just like, bro, it's whatever. It's just like, bro, but if you're not in it, like this is like,
It's not for them. It's not a big deal.
nah,
they do it
bro,
every
this
week.
is like a legitimate bucket list item
Yeah.
of my life to go and be a part of something like I like the Xfinity. I'm more hyped for the Saturday race
We're gonna have to
than
get.
probably any race I've ever been in my life.
We're gonna have to get Jake a mouth guard, like a molded mouth guard.
Oh, 'cause he's gonna be gritting his teeth.
the whole time.
Bro, you think I
like
hate
someone-
commercials
dude,
before?
Bro, someone about to get close to that car, and he'd be like, "You better not freaking get close to that car, bro." Like,
Nah, bro. It's just like
Jake and
just to
Quentin,
like
like,
go
little
and just
things on the side of the car.
not like have like equity or whatever, but it's like to have like
I put that tire on that car. What the heck, bro?
to like have like a real dog in the fight, you know? Like
Yeah,
like
no,
I just
for
I'm
real.
just so like the anticipation of all that. Like
It's gonna be.
I'm gonna be struggling going to sleep tonight, anticipating tomorrow.
I mean, it's a good thing
you
you don't
know?
have to work tomorrow, bro.
I am working tomorrow. Lake Wales.
Oh, I mean, technically, I guess.
Nah, but it's so like that, and then I really anticipate the Cup race to be better because the Cup race in March was really good.
It
The
was a
track
lot of
surface
fun.
was a little hot,
yeah.
Little slick.
but and the track racing was the racing was still good. So I think this weekend's race on Sunday night will still be really good, especially as the night goes on. Stage 1 and 2 might be calm, but I expect stage 3 to be
Very hectic.
just balls out, man. Because the grip will be at a premium. It'll be peaked, and it'll just be the best. And I just think Saturday. I don't want to say the Saturday race was kind of a letdown, but it was kind of a mess. You know, we had the whole
Yeah.
Josh Williams and the tape falling off, the whole Parkett deal. The racing was kind of a mess. There was some wrecks. There was some single file. It was just kind of like disjointed, I guess. Maybe it was like a way to describe
Probably
it.
a
It wasn't
better
like
way
a
to say it.
typical like, okay, we're gonna get out here, we're gonna run 20 laps side by side. It just wasn't. You just didn't get a whole lot of that. So I expect kind of the same thing. Maybe stage 1 and 2 to kind of be some more single file, and as the sun goes down, the track cools off. Stage 3 to be pretty balls out.
Probably.
I expect this to be a hit. I really do.
It should be a good one. So, all right, you guys got anything else you guys want to say before we close out?
Kuzman says
No.
it feels like 60 degrees after it's been -10 for 3 months.
That's probably a fact, bro.
Yeah.
God.
Nope.
I want to let's bring Kuzman down. You need to come on down to Coke 400.
I was
bro.
just gonna say, dude.
I'll probably watch you
I-
sit at the pool bar and just melt.
Oh, that's what I was. Oh, that's what I was
just
gonna
melt.
say. That's what I was gonna say earlier.
Be like an ice
I
cream
woke
on
up-
a hot day.
Yeah,
Just
bro.
melt.
We'll all just be chilling.
I was
Probably
gonna
wearing a
s-
sweater and jeans. That's all, bro.
I was saying
a
this.
little bit
I was gonna
brisk.
say this earlier, but I woke up for work the other day. I woke up for work at 5:30. I checked the weather just to see, and it was like it's 95, but feels like 104.
Bro.
And I'm like,
And the
"Dang,
problem with the
bro."
whole feels like it's 94 is I know there's people in like Texas and Arizona that are like, oh, that's not that hot. We have 120. I'm like, yeah, but
It's the
it's
humidity.
humid as crap.
It's the humidity that gets you, as the dads say.
Yes.
No, we'll see what Kuzman's like sneaking the holler before they leave. Hey, bro, we already got the invite, bro. Ain't gonna be no sneaking. Like, we already got the invite. You know?
We're gonna be like,
hey, my plan is to try to go prove my worth, which isn't much, tomorrow, so I can hopefully
that
be
much.
invited. Even if I just gotta like can water bottles and push race cars for July and or August in Daytona. If I can just do that, hey. They're like, yeah, you do this for like 4 or 5 times. Maybe we'll start paying you. Like, bro, you just take me to the racetrack. Hey, debt is paid.
pay for my RV spot.
Nah, but it's just like if y'all get me
kidding.
to the racetrack, I'll do whatever you want.
I can be bought.
Yeah, I'm cheap.
And I think that's a good point to probably call it. All right, guys, it's been
I'm a
fun.
cheap date.
It's been fun hanging out with everybody. We'll see y'all next
Hey,
week.
Like, shares on Twitter, social media.
Oh,
Peace.
perfect.
That was a mess.
We have merch on Etsy.
Etsy?
Etsy.